This podcast is brought to you from Grantwood AEA, an educational service agency that supports school districts in eastern Iowa with a focus on equity, excellence, and efficiency in education for all children.
Welcome to episode 47 of the EdTech Takeout, the podcast that serves up bite-sized technology tips for teachers. My name's Jonathan Wiley, and I'm joined by my partner in crime, the effervescent Mindy Carney.
Hi, welcome back.
Are you feeling effervescent?
I don't even know what that means, but yes.
Yeah?
Of course I am.
Good. Did you have a good summer?
I did. How about you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can always tell when Mindy has a good summer because you just don't hear from Mindy all summer.
Yeah.
It's like social media blackout and all the rest.
I went completely radio silent.
Off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were
turned off my Voxer.
I was going to say you turned off Voxer and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
I did. I wasn't on Twitter. I probably was on Facebook just looking at people's kids for the most part, and Instagram, following along that way. But otherwise, yeah, I turned off my email notifications and everything.
I think there's a lot to be said for unplugging for a while.
It was awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. What about you?
Well, you saw the show notes for this episode, so you saw that I'd still been working a little bit over the summer.
Yeah.
So
your notes here were crazy.
Yeah. So we pared it down a little bit, but this is the episode that we have long been promising. Yeah. We talked about going to ISTE and recording some of our thoughts and things from there, but we've also just got other random things that we saw over the summer because it's been a good 2 and a bit months since we last podcast. So things have happened.
Yes.
And we'll try not to go over too much of what you probably already heard. But we thought we'd take some time and jump through some
nuggets.
things. Nuggets. All nuggets.
All nuggets today.
All the nuggets.
All of the nuggets.
Yes.
It's a 12-pack for sure, right?
There's a lot here. Yeah.
There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you start because you have a list of 3 million here. So you start.
3 million. Okay, number one of 3 million is Google Classroom updates.
Yeah.
And there were some pretty significant changes from Google over the summer. I think they were announced at ISTE or just shortly before or after ISTE, but new things that are coming. And one of those I think that is important is the new classwork page.
Okay.
Which is a good way to help organize some of your assignments. Because before, when you posted an assignment, it went into the stream.
Yeah.
And you could tag things, I think, but it was like harder to find assignments. This lets you like post things similar to like an LMS, like Canvas or places like that, where you can actually say this section, this module is about this. And you group all your assignments into that chunk.
Which is kind of what Classroom was missing before.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you have like, Unit 2, and then you have your assignments for Unit 2, and then whatever. So that's a handy thing to have, I think.
What else?
So there is because of that addition, they revised the stream a little bit now. Okay. So that that only really includes teacher announcements and student posts, if you allow student posts. So the stream shouldn't clutter up all your assignments and things as well.
That's nice.
The people page now replaces the student page.
Okay.
Because along the top there was 3 tabs or something, and one of them used to say students, and now it says people. Okay. Because in there you have students, you have teachers, if you have co-teachers, and parents and guardians and things on there too. So I guess that makes sense for people in there. Okay. But they took away the About page.
Now this is what I heard about.
Yes?
I saw people upset about losing the About page. And I'm not a Google Classroom user. I've never been a Google Classroom user. So I saw people are upset about it, but I didn't really understand why that was.
I think what people liked about the About page was it was like about your class, and you could like post a syllabus or something there, upload a doc and say, this is what we're going to do this year. Here's like my course content and all the rest. And because there's no About page, there's nowhere to pin that stuff.
Right. And that's what I got the impression of, is that people were missing the fact that they could pin things. That's where they were putting it, was their About page.
Yeah. So there's a post by Eric Kurtz that we could link to.
Oh, Eric.
What to do about that missing About page. And he's got a couple of, they're kind of workarounds. I don't know if they're going to be perfect solutions, but until the About page comes back or until something else happens.
Do you know something the rest of us don't know?
I do not know.
Oh, no, well, Jonathan Wiley says bring back the About page. Google.
I think it'd be popular if they brought it back.
I think so too.
There's quick switch grading of student work. So, I mean, I think Alice Keeler had this extension for Chrome where you could click and it would open like all your student assignments and tabs.
Yes, I agree.
Yep.
Yep.
Because that was always a thing. You'd have to open one and then close it, then open the next one, then close it. But if you open up like a Google Doc now, again, this is similar to some of the quick grade features. Like we use Canvas here at Grantwood, the speed grader, where you can just click through the students and go from one assignment to the next. So you can now do that. And they also have like comment bank available too, where you can choose.
Built in, or do you have to put your own in? Oh,
so they have some built-in comments, but you can also customize them.
Nice.
We talked about that checkmark extension for Chrome that let you do that kind of thing. So that's now baked into Google Classroom.
Nice.
So you can take advantage of that. You can copy an entire class with all your assignments and everything in there. So let's say you set up an amazing class this year with organize all your assignments in the classwork page and all the rest.
No surprise there.
And then next year you're like,
this class is amazing.
Worked really well. Let's copy it and do it again. And maybe you won't use absolutely everything wrote because you'll probably adjust it based on the students that you have next year. Yeah. But it would save you a lot of time. Yeah. And the assignments are saved in like a draft format. Yeah. So the students don't see them until you publish them.
Nice.
So that is available in the new classroom. And a lot of these things you will only see if you start a new class this year. Because when I went in and looked at some of these, I'm like,
where's all my stuff?
My class doesn't have all these nice new features, and that's because you have to create a new class, and then it's in there. So you can't copy any last year's class to this year, because last year's class was not a new Google Classroom class. It's like the new Google Sites and the new Google Forms and all the rest.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Anything else? That's it.
One thing coming up that I thought I'd ask your opinion about, because this has been a little controversial with some people. Okay. Coming is a future edition whereby you'll be able to create a forms quiz from right inside of Classroom.
Okay.
So instead of going to Google Forms, creating a quiz, and then going back to Classroom and assigning it, you can do it from inside Classroom. Okay. However, there's an extra addition on there where if you are got managed Chromebooks in your district, you can lock students in that quiz while they are taking the test. Because there was always that thing where people would say, but hey, if I give my quiz in Google Forms, kids can just open a new tab and Google the answer.
Right, which we've talked about. We've discussed this.
Yeah, but now you can lock them in that quiz form so that they can open a new tab. What do you think of that?
What do I think of that? I think my position stays the same, that we should always examine the questions that we're asking our students. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're locking them in, you're locking them in. I don't know. Can I really have an opinion about it? It's really just about the questions to me. It's not about the locking them down. It's about asking good questions.
Yep.
Can I stick with that story?
I agree with that too. Okay. Yes. We're on the same page.
Jeez, you're making me sweat over here.
Too much hard work, eh?
Yeah, right. All right, my turn. Is that all your things? Is
That's
it more about
all
Google
the things
Classroom?
in Google Classroom. I'll link to a couple of posts from Eric Kurtz that'll go through this. He's got like 9 updates from Google Classroom, and then he's got this other one on what to do about the About page.
Oh, and, I like that. What to do about the About page. Good one, Eric Kurtz. We love you. Okay, so my next one, my first one, I should say, is about CoSpaces. I haven't talked about CoSpaces in a while.
It's been a while, yeah, because you were all over CoSpaces when it first came out.
I know, and I'm still all about CoSpaces. I was actually talking to, we have two new digital learning consultants. We probably should have said that. And one of them is Corey Rogers. And so her and I were talking about CoSpaces today, and I was kind of telling her about it. And I had mentioned to her this new update to CoSpaces, which is that now they have AR capabilities inside CoSpaces. So if you don't know about CoSpaces, it's like creating this virtual world. And inside your virtual world, you can code to animate different objects in this world and so on and so forth. So they have also the virtual reality. So you can use the CoSpaces EDU app and put it into a viewer and then step inside this world you've created. Well, now they have added the possibility for AR, which means using the app, you can take the world you've created and put it as an overlay instead.
It looks really neat. I saw, I think it was Paul Hamilton tweet about it, and he showed a demo of it in a video where you just like stick it on your carpet or on a table or something, and it's neat.
Look what you've created.
Yeah.
It's just sitting right there in front of you. There is, and I haven't read about this lately, but I think you just looked into it. There is a Merge Cube connection. The only thing about it, like to me, the Merge Cube kind of keeps it like tied down to a space. I kind of like just the AR feature of it and just being able to put it where you want it instead of using the Merge Cube as the trigger. Yeah. But I don't know.
They're going all in on AR and VR and MR and QR and I don't know, all the R's.
They do have QR codes
do they?
too. Yeah,
there
you go.
Yeah.
So if you haven't looked at CoSpaces lately, it's different. There's CoSpaces EDU now. I think you get 25 to 30 somewhere in there student accounts, so you can share lessons with them. They have a free play space. You can also, after you've created your world, have a camera and have that camera take a 360 image of your world. So you can do some different things with that. I don't really know what that you wouldn't already do in CoSpaces, but just kind of a different tool to look at. I don't get to share it a lot, but I really think it's pretty amazing.
I like it too, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
I got some Flipgrid fever, Mindy.
Oh, boy.
I think I need to see
Flipgrid's got some big news.
A doctor, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Big news over the summer was that if you didn't hear already, Flipgrid were acquired by Microsoft, and now all those premium features are now free. So there is no paid version of Flipgrid anymore, and you are able to continue using it all. I guess all the free accounts go. All the other features unlocked. And so that was things like a longer recording time.
That's correct.
What else was in like the premium side of Flipgrid before?
What was in the premium side? I think with the free side, you could only have one board, but multiple topics.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And so with the free one, it's free. So
yeah, you get all the boards.
You get all the boards. All the boards are yours.
So Flipgrid, I think, has been a really popular tool. A lot of people have liked it and enjoyed using it, and I think it's obviously only going to get more popular now that it's free for people to use. It's kind of a device-agnostic tool. It works on the web, it works on mobile devices, it works on Chromebooks, it works everywhere. So
so one of the things I would say about the new free Flipgrid, however, is that them following the new student privacy, standards. What would you? Student privacy regulations. Yes. Maybe that's a better. That any Flipgrid that you create from the start, you have to have a password for.
Okay.
You can go in and take a password off, but it defaults with a password. So that gets a little got a little hairy for me. Being a previous Flipgrid user, going to the new free version of Flipgrid.
So like
because I never used passwords before.
And you're doing a PD with teachers, and they're like, I can't get in.
I can't get into this Flipgrid. And you're like, I don't understand why not. Oh, wait, I apparently set a password. I didn't realize I did. So if you're a previous Flipgrid user, just know going in that any old Flipgrids that you have to go in and reset those settings.
Okay.
You have to put a password in. It's kind of weird.
So it's a good thing, the student privacy thing.
It's not a bad thing at all, but if you will fumble around in there for a while.
Thinking, what the heck is going on here?
Yes. So just know that that's something you have to look for when you're in there.
And I know I've shared it before, but I'll put a link to it in the show notes again. There is this educator guide to Flipgrid.
Oh, sure.
Done by Carly Mara and Sean Fahey, I think. And they're up to volume 3 of this thing now. So they keep updating it as Flipgrid updates. So if you are new to Flipgrid and you're thinking, okay, now that it's finally free, I might just give it a shot.
Sure.
Take a look at that educator guide to Flipgrid. And it really just walks you through step by step. And it's got lots of Bitmojis on it.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
You know what? I guess I have looked at it.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of Bitmojis on it.
Bitmoji-tastic.
Oh, that's a new word.
Probably every page has a Bitmoji. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I love Bitmojis.
I thought you would.
All right. My next tech nugget, if you haven't seen this, is Tour Creator. And Tour Creator, I don't know, was released end of the summer? Middle of the summer? Around ISTE? I don't know. Does it matter? Anyway, so what's really neat about Tour Creator is that we've talked in the past, I believe, about Tour Builder. I feel like Tour Builder is going to go away. That's just my opinion. But Tour Creator allows you to kind of create your own Google expeditions with 360 images from Google Maps.
Yes.
Because otherwise you cannot take images from Google Maps just for fun.
Yes.
I looked that up.
Oh.
Just because I was curious. But it allows you to pull in those images from...
I'm not going to ask what you were trying to do.
Well, so it's hard to find 360 images like for kids to use or teachers to use.
That's true.
You know, if you don't have a 360 camera, it's kind of tricky. So I was like, I wonder if you can just pull images from Google Maps, because a lot of times people put those into Street View themselves, but apparently Google now owns those. So anyway, it's pretty step-by-step, pretty simple. You can use, obviously, your computer, desktop. In our last expeditions class, taking VR further, we had... some people try and do it on their iPads, and they could get it pulled up, but it kept crashing. So I would not recommend that.
Okay.
Maybe that'll get better yet. But so you can add hotspots. You can... Ooh, I don't remember if you can add music. Do you know?
I know you can add an audio narration. That was in USD, I think, for sure. You could, like, talk over parts of it. And it's not really like a narration. It's like to each scene. I think you can add, like, an MP3 file or something. Or
So yeah, definitely take a look at that free little tool. Pretty user-friendly. Drag and drop. Nice.
I like it. 360 VR, AR, we're all over this stuff.
Not AR.
Today. Well, I'm thinking like co-spaces.
I see what you did there.
There's starting to be a theme running here now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's taking over the world right now.
All right, theme stops there, I guess. One of the highlights of my ISTE, or one of the sessions I went to at ISTE that I particularly enjoyed was
your own?
Well, I did enjoy those. Apart from those, I went to see our friend Meredith Allen from Soundtrap.
Sure.
And she was actually presenting in a Microsoft-sponsored event, but it was still a good event because I came away with a few takeaways, because I think we've talked about Soundtrap before, but we don't really
kind of tiptoe around Soundtrap, right?
Like some things.
I don't feel like I know much about Soundtrap.
Yeah.
So enlighten me. What'd you find out?
So a couple of things I thought they had that was fun there. They have a Padlet board called the Soundtrap Teacher Snapshots Padlet board. And
that's a mouthful.
It is kind of a mouthful, but it's very useful because on this Padlet, they have curricular connections for things you can do in different subject areas with a tool like Soundtrap that records audio.
All right.
So, like, how could you use it in math? So there's an example here: connect music to fractions, replay a song in 4/4 time and 3/4 time and 6/8 time for the students to try and tell the difference.
I like that.
Kind of interesting. There's one here for science where you could study the sound waves, because audio makes waves.
Sure.
And see what the waves were recorded from dropping a ball and recording that, and see what that makes in terms of comparing it to the video and things on there too. So they got all kinds of different versions on there. One for math, science, language and literacy, art, music, history, all the rest. So it was created for Soundtrap, but I think it would work just as well with GarageBand or whatever else you're using that's recording audio, and you're looking for different ways to record audio.
Yeah.
So lots of good ideas for the classroom there. I will link to that.
Okay.
They've also got this thing called the Innovators Compass Guide to Podcasting.
Okay.
And it's, if you are thinking about doing podcasting with students in the classroom, it's a breakdown of what that might look like. Have you seen the Innovators Compass before?
No.
I haven't either. So it's basically a framework where you can put some things around. So in this, they've put like how to podcast and who are the people that are going to be involved in it. What are your observations in terms of the purpose, why it's important, how you can engage the audience. The principles are what matters most for everyone involved, what are the ideas you're going to use, and how are you going to experiment with putting this podcast out there. And they've also got a couple of podcast rubrics on there too. So
good planning doc.
I know. So if you wanted to spread the good podcasting word, there's a little framework there for putting together a podcast or having students think about it in a big picture kind of thing and what's involved and who's involved in there too.
Did you hear me say everyone's got a framework these days?
Everyone does have a framework these days.
I came across another one in my email today.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything about who it was, but I'm like, oh, everybody has a framework these days.
In the meeting I was in before recording this podcast, we were looking at a framework. And I was at one this morning where we were talking about frameworks too. So there's lots of instructional frameworks out there.
Yeah.
Here's another one to add to your framework toolkit.
Yeah, right. Okay, so when I was at ISTE, Amber and I went to like a pre-ISTE workshop.
Okay.
That was about Scratch and coding. Actually, it was a computer science fire hose.
A computer science fire hose. Wow, they just
hopped right in.
Out there. Yeah.
They did. But my favorite thing probably was learning about Scratch 3.0. And we kind of knew this was coming, but now you can actually check out Scratch 3.0. Before it was like you could preview it, but now you can actually play with it. To find that, it's at beta.scratch.mit. Not MIT, well, MIT.
I was going to say.
And then .edu, and that'll be linked in the show notes as well. But we kind of got a preview then, and they showed us a little bit more and kind of talked a little bit about what's changing with Scratch and Scratch 3.0. So a couple of what I thought was maybe one of the biggest things was being able to use Scratch now on your tablet, which I think is a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a bigger workspace now. So, I always felt like when I was using Scratch, like you're fitting all of this stuff into this little tiny workspace, although you could kind of scroll around in it. It's nice to have a bigger workspace. There's new characters, new backdrops, new sounds. You can also, and I'm going to get a little bit more to this yet, program physical devices. So we a lot of times talk about Scratch and Makey together, but Makey is actually like attached to your computer. So it's your code in Scratch is actually interacting with the computer, and Makey just becomes like an external or an extra keyboard, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
like
so
an input device or something.
Yes, right. So Scratch 3.0 will allow you to program physical devices like the microbit.
Oh.
We're going to talk about the microbit in just a sec.
Yeah.
They also kept saying the Scratch bit. So I feel like they're coming out with their own little device of some sort.
Like a little circuit board?
Yeah, of some sort. They hadn't officially decided on a name, but they kept calling it Scratch bit.
I wonder how Makey feels about all these...
I don't know.
Yeah, things.
But Makey's still great. I think it's kind of it's like Makey on steroids, right? So you might start with Makey and kind of figure out how this whole thing works, but then take a step up with doing something like that.
Sure.
A couple other things, although I don't understand how it works yet, I'm going to wait and play, is you can also program web services like Google Translate.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know what that means. I just happened to come across it today, and I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I'm just going to say it because that's intriguing to me. I don't really know what that means.
Could you have the characters say something and translate it?
Translate it into a different language? I don't know. I'm going to find out, though, and I'll come back with that.
Okay, we'll hold you to that.
Okay. What other things? Oh, and then this I thought was a nice add-on, too, is when first-time users go in, there'll be, like, hints of how to get started, so little pop-ups, if I remember correctly. But then there's also tutorials built into 3.0, so at the top there's a little tab button that says tutorials, and you can click on those and tap on a category of something that you'd like to learn how to do.
Very good.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time. People have been waiting for a lot of these things coming.
Yes.
But,
I agree.
when does it officially launch or go live? Do you know that? Or is it just in a beta period for now?
That I don't know. And I have a blog post here. Full launch. January 2nd, 2019.
Okay.
So you got a year to play. And then all of those things will hopefully become solidified by then. But all your same things that you love about Scratch are still there too. Nothing big going away.
The cat's still there.
The cat's still there, and probably the really annoying meow.
Yeah.
Oh god, that meow makes me crazy. It's always like the default sound, and every time I share like Scratch or Makey, it's like here comes that meow. But that's fine.
All right, I got a quick update then before we get to your microbit, which I'm chomping at the bit to hear about.
You are. Good, I'm glad.
Yeah. Embed codes in Book Creator for Chrome happened over the summer.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So you can now put anything with an HTML embed code into Book Creator for Chrome.
Okay.
And some things, I don't have a list here, so don't ask me. Okay. But some things you can actually just put a URL in and it embeds it.
Yes.
So certain things like a Google Map location, I think, was one of the ones they demoed.
Okay.
And you can put a link to that in, and it recognizes it's a Google Map, and then it'll embed it as a Google Map.
In Book Creator?
Yes. So now anything with an HTML embed code. So if you create like a video on YouTube or whatever, you can bring that down. If you've got something like a Google Slides presentation, in theory, you get an embed code for that.
Yes.
It made me think that, if you are already in for the paid version of Book Creator for Chrome, I think this could be a really good student portfolio option.
Yeah, it would be.
Because almost anything you create on the web these days has some kind of link or ability to put an HTML embed code in there. Yep. So you could do some really fun student portfolios.
Interesting. But,
yeah, so it's an idea. I know because Amber sent around that blog post by Ramsey Masalam recently.
Yes,
did you see that one?
I did.
Where he's talking about how to simplify his student portfolio process by putting it all into Google Slides, which I think is an interesting idea because you can bring a lot of things in there, images and videos and other stuff. Now that in Google
Slides... Create a table of contents on your first slide.
Yeah, you can do all that. So, it just got me thinking about student portfolios again, and I saw the embed codes of Book Creator, and I put 2 and 2 together and came up with 5. So, it's an option. That if you are looking into it, they still have that free version if you want to try it out and explore what that looks like.
I think you just get one book for free, and that could have changed. It's been a long time since I've looked at Book Creator. But
it was on the iPad, but you get a bookshelf or something on the Chrome version.
Oh, I haven't even looked at it in Chrome.
No, you should.
I should.
Yeah, it
You're right.
really works almost the same way. Very similar.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
just didn't ever want to pay for it as a teacher.
I know it.
All right, so to the microbit?
Yes.
On to the microbit. Okay, so I am just going to be very transparent here, and I don't know anything about the microbit.
Then why are we talking about the microbit?
Okay, because we bought some microbits after we were listening about Scratch 3.0, and we got to play with one a little bit. I mean, and this was in June, and like you said, I completely unplugged over the summer, so I'm a little summer brain still.
So you started to see the potential in it, is what you're saying.
That's right.
Yes.
So I went back and looked at it today, and then some things started to come back to me in flashes. All right. So what was cool about the microbit is that you can Bluetooth it, so it doesn't have to be connected to your computer.
Okay.
And that's a big deal.
It doesn't need to be connected with a wire.
Well, you know what I mean. You knew exactly. When I say Bluetooth, you know exactly what I meant.
Okay.
Right?
You said it didn't need to be connected.
You have to plug it into your computer.
Okay. You said it didn't need to be connected to your computer.
But it can also be connected to your computer. So it can either be Bluetooth or USB.
Okay.
Either one.
Yep.
You can use your computer or an app, the microbit app. So you can use an iPad. That's a big deal.
Just so you all know, listeners, Mindy's got her pointing finger out right now.
That's because I think it's really cool. Okay, so also it has light and temperature sensors.
Oh, nice.
It has motion sensors like an accelerometer and a compass.
So you can shake it around and see things happen?
Yes. It has 25 individually programmable lights.
25 lights?
25. So
I've seen one of these things. It doesn't look like it has 25
I know, I don't remember
lights.
that either, but that's what, and this part I don't remember, so I will say that. But what they suggested then is that with those lights, you could display text or create a little robot image or something like that in those lights. Okay. What else? Oh, and I didn't remember this either, is that there is the ability to do a radio function on it, so it can transmit to another microbit.
They can talk to each other?
Yes.
Wow.
I know. So
that could be fun.
Yeah. So that being said, some of those things I remember and some of those things I don't, but we just got them in in the last month or so, and we've been so busy that we haven't
the last week or so, I think.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we haven't gotten them out and played with them before, but I'm just saying that this is a really cool thing, and we're gonna get them out and maybe share some more about them later. But definitely something to look into, and they weren't that expensive.
And I feel like we mentioned it before in a previous episode when it was first coming out, and it wasn't available yet in the US because it was
only in the UK.
It was originally built in the UK, by the BBC to help the coding initiatives in my motherland. Well, I've been playing with a new app that you also played with as well, I believe, called Headliner.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember this one? Because I think there was some lack of... You were wondering what this could be used for, wasn't it? So this is an app that I'm going to put out there for all those podcasters out there. And I know we have some podcasters that listen to this show. Yep. Looking at you, Jen Giffen, and others. I saw Jen Giffen at ISTE.
You did?
Did you ever catch up with her? No. She's like, what? So, yeah, it was great to see her. So this is an app that is created. It lets you create these social media videos for free. They're kind of like, I've heard them called audiograms.
Okay.
Where you'll start to see a few from our account sharing the podcast out that way. You can take like a little snippet of a podcast and put an image behind it, and it will play the audio. It will also do transcription, where you can have the text on top and then like a little audio wave that goes up and down as well. And so you can put together like a little 10-15 second promo for your podcast, share it out on social media, and people can go, oh, that sounds interesting. Hopefully they'll say, oh, that sounds interesting. And they will click on it and go and listen to your podcast. So you can have these in all kinds of different sizes. You can make them for YouTube or Facebook or Twitter and Snapchat, Instagram stories, and they have lots of examples on their site. Everything about this app is 100% free, and actually says that
for now.
Well, I don't know.
It says forever.
It says on the front page, is Headliner actually completely free? And it's like, yes. And they say, how is this possible? And then it's just a team of people that have got together and say, we don't want to charge you for anything. We want to create a platform that doesn't limit creators. And so go for it. There's no watermark. There's nothing on it. So
you may have said this, and I missed it. So you can share it onto social media. Yes. Does it just generate a link too? Can you just take a link and like email it to someone? Not that it's for social media. I get that, but do you know?
Yes, I believe you probably can. I think when I did it, I just made the video.
Which makes sense.
That makes more sense. It's more visual. It's a way to, instead of saying, hey, listen to our new podcast episode, you've actually got the podcast in the tweet or the Facebook post. And as is the way with Twitter and Facebook these days, a lot of these things also play, so you get a little bit more exposure and things like that. Right. So Headliner app is free.
I'm going to try that.
And fun. I'm going to try and put one out for every episode we do on this podcast, just to give you guys a little snippet of what's going on there.
I like it. I'm going to try that with TMI.
You should do.
Yeah, and just take like something that... I know Amber just the other day put something on Instagram, like a quote from this little girl who said the sweetest thing about, like, I don't know if this is going to work, but I hope it does, or something. I saw that, it was super cute. But I could take her picture and have that come through the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, give that a shot. Okay. Next. This is my last one. I know you have like 15 more, but this is my last one, folks.
I don't have 15 more.
So if you're tired of listening to Wiley, just shut off your podcast.
Right. All right. Here.
I'm just kidding. Right here. Okay, so Seesaw Activity Library had an update over the summer, which is really great. They enlisted a bunch of Seesaw ambassadors to create Seesaw activities so that they could kind of beef up their library. Previously, there were 10 activities if you went in that you could take a look at and use. Otherwise, you had to create your own or find and share some from other people. So now they're all built into Seesaw in their activity library.
It's kind of like a storefront almost, isn't it?
Kinda.
You go in like an app store when you're looking for activities.
Yeah, it looks like that. Yeah. So across the top, they always have like getting started activities. So if you're just getting started with Seesaw, or you're just starting the school year, there's activities of kind of how to get your kids using Seesaw and kind of introducing it to them. So those are all built in across the top. And then there is a filtering system, so you can filter by grade and subject, but there's also a search bar, so you can put a keyword in if there's something that you're specifically looking for. They also added the ability to favorite activities. So you can go through and there's a little heart up in the right-hand corner. And if you click on that little heart, it'll show up in My Library. So it's a way of saving your activities so you don't have to keep looking for them. And within your library, if you have the free account, you can create 2 collections. So you can, I don't know, if you do like Daily 5 or something like that, you could pull all of your activities for Daily 5 into that collection. And you only get 2 with the free account. And of course, you get 100 with a paid account. So that's one of their differences between the free and paid. I think that's everything right now that you'd find there. But lots of great stuff. And it's nice to be able to go and pull stuff. Now, with anything, I would always say, look at it with a critical eye. Make sure, I just like to step on my soapbox for a second and be like, open-ended, able to be differentiated, student choice. Those are the 3 things that I think, that's just my soapbox. Look for activities with those 3 things and you're winning.
Good advice.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
So Seesaw Activity Library.
Seesaw Activity Library.
Is there still like a restriction on how many you can get in the free account, or?
I think the library is just there.
Okay.
You
just
can save, I think, 100 activities. Save 100 activities with the free account.
Okay.
So I think
that'll keep you going for a while.
Yeah, for sure. So there you have it.
All right. And then we move on to my last 15 then, I guess.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Sit back for the Jonathan Wiley show. Here we go.
It's more like 3.
Okay. Let's do it.
Wakelet has been blowing up my Twitter. Have you seen Wakelet?
No.
It seems like everybody I follow on Twitter is using Wakelet.
Okay, well, what is it?
So, were you familiar with the artist formerly known as Storify?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's a Twitter thing, right? Like everybody pulls in tweets. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
People use that for like Twitter chats and things where they would, collate part of the chat and things in there. But you could also use it for other things as well. You could bring in other social media places. So Wakelet is very similar in a lot of different ways. It lets you bring in Instagram posts, YouTube videos. You can add images, tweets, Facebook posts, and you can just add like a link as well.
Is it just by hashtag? Is that how they pull stuff in?
No, you can, well, you can just like look through things on Twitter and save it to like a Wakelet board, basically.
I see. Okay.
I think they call it a Wake.
Okay.
So there was lots of different ideas on here for how that could be used. I believe this is going to be like one of those 13 plus kind of services, but you could use it as a teacher for different things. So I linked to a post or a show notes on Matt Miller's blog. It was actually written by Paul West, who wrote 12 curation ideas for students and teachers using Wakelet. So different ways you could use Wakelet. And he's got things like, making a personalized playlist for students, or making a hyperdoc with a Wakelet, or creating your own collection of Google expeditions and things that you want to go and take a look at, or math reviews, parent newsletters, and different things like that. So it's Wakelet. An interesting thing. It's the new Storify.
It's the new Storify.
So if you've been missing Storify...
Nope, I haven't been, but...
Check out Wakelet.
It's a good advertisement. No, I haven't been missing Storify at all, actually.
Not one bit. Then maybe this one's not for you, Mindy.
It's not.
Maybe somebody else.
It's interesting, though. Somebody could be using it somewhere. Okay. I mean, obviously they are.
Yeah.
Way to go, Wakelet.
Okay.
Yay, Wakelet.
Okay. So also, you mentioned Scratch was coming to the iPad.
Yes.
Also coming to the iPad is Minecraft EDU. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
That was interesting. So it's coming in September, I believe. So maybe by the time you've heard this podcast, I don't know, but we're still recording in August. But it's coming soon. It's still part of the same licensing you need to pay before with Microsoft. It's a paid subscription, but I don't know. I assume there's going to be a Microsoft EDU app on the App Store.
Yes, I would agree.
And it's not going to to be signing into the Pocket Edition, but maybe it is.
No, I don't think so.
It'll be a specific app for it.
I think it'll be a special app. I agree, yeah.
So I just thought I'd mention that as a for your interest type of deal.
Yep.
My kids have started playing Minecraft over the summer.
just now? They hadn't tried it before?
Not really. They didn't really have much interest in it, but then one of their friends was playing it, and so I bought it for them on the Xbox.
Yeah.
And we have it on the iPad at home too. And so I've started to learn a little bit of Minecraft. I know you and I sat down once, and I'm like, why am I flying? What am I doing here? And so I've been learning about survival mode and creator mode and all the different blocks and portals and
No, it's been a while.
I know, me too.
Yeah,
but my kids are trying to teach me a little bit here and there. I'm probably getting quite frustrated with me.
Well, I noticed that about my little guy too. His patience runs out real quick. He's like, just let me do it. Well, I can't learn if you take it from me. Give it back, please.
Yep.
We started playing Fortnite at our house this summer. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. But
everybody else
we're doing it.
So.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Sorry.
So I think this will be my last one. I'm finished on something fun.
Okay.
Last night I decided to blow up everybody's Twitter.
I was going to say you blew up Twitter last night.
With a new app that I found called GIFnote.
Yeah.
And if you like GIFs, then this takes it to the next level because this app, and it's also a website, gifnote.com, this iOS app and website will let you add music to a GIF.
Yeah, you get to choose your music for the GIF.
You do get to choose.
Choose from a list.
Yeah, it's kind of clever. So if you search for a keyword, like, I don't know, you search for school, and it's going to give you all these different GIFs associated with school.
Right.
And these GIFs must all have tags on them in the back end, because when you click on a GIF, underneath the GIF, it knows what's in the picture, so it will suggest like maybe 8 or 10 or 12 different music tracks that would go well with that GIF. And then you choose the one you want, you save it as a video, and you spam your friends with it.
Yes. I got so many notifications last night. I about threw my phone across the room, but it's fine. It was fun.
It was fun.
I particularly loved that Stacey Beamer created one of you. That was my favorite part of the night.
I'm going to leave that out of the show notes.
You are. No, you're not. I will tweet it. I will tweet it until, yes. So Jonathan Wiley was recently in our all agency opening day video.
I was.
And he was walking across the room, and we laughed about him a little bit with him, not and at him.
I think both. Yeah.
Stacey took that and made a GIF out of it. It was awesome, and she added some music to it, and the music looked like you were singing it, which is even better.
I never thought about that before. But
it does. If you go back and look at it, it like syncs up just enough.
It looks
that you're
like I'm singing "Eye of the Tiger."
Yeah.
Nice.
So anyway. It's kind of fun.
So GIFnote is a lot of fun, yes. I've started sending them to my wife, and I've started to tweet them, and I'm just sending them to random people. Whenever a GIF is called for, a GIFnote is going to take it to the next level.
Yeah, it is going to take it to the next level.
Sometimes people don't know to like tap on it. Like the first couple I saw, I'm like, I don't know what this is. It's just a GIF. But then you have to tap on it sometimes, or like unmute the speaker to make it, play the music. But it's good fun.
It was fun. Good one. It's a good one to end on.
I thought it was a fun one to end on.
It is.
So send Mindy your GIF notes. She is at Team Carney on Twitter. You can send one to me.
And send them to Jonathan Wiley, who is at Jonathan Wiley on Twitter.
Our team account is at DLGWA, and you can use our hashtag if you want, and send your GIF notes to hashtag edtech takeout. Or send Mindy an email at podcast@gwaea.org. So I think that will about cover all our nuggets for this episode. Do you think?
I think so.
There was more nuggets on the list, but we're just going to save them for...
It's time.
Tech nuggets.
Yeah, let's end this.
All right.
Episode. Are you done?
So until next time.
This has been the EdTech Takeout. We hope it hit the spot.
For more information on today's episode, please visit dlgwaea.org/podcast.